The words hang in the air like poison. I own this city, Judge. Every brick, every street, every person in this room answers to me. The man who says this isn't some random criminal. He's Mayor Vincent Hartwell, 47 years old, leader of Providence for the past 6 years, standing in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom like he's doing everyone a favor by showing up. If you believe that power should never put anyone above the law, you're going to want to see what happens next. It's a Tuesday morning. Providence Municipal Court. The room is packed. More people than usual. Word got out that the mayor himself would be here today. People took time off work to watch. They sit in wooden benches. They whisper to each other. They wonder what could bring the most powerful man in the city to traffic court. Judge Frank Caprio sits at the bench. His gray hair is neat. His expression is calm. He's seen thousands of cases in this courtroom. Rich people, poor people, famous people, regular people. He treats them all the same. That's why people love him. That's why his courtroom videos go viral. Because justice here doesn't care about your bank account or your job title. The bailiff stands near the door. His uniform is crisp. His face is serious. He calls out in a loud voice. Case number 2025, TR 91847. City of Providence versus Mayor Vincent Hartwell. Multiple violations. The courtroom goes completely quiet. You could hear a pin drop. Everyone leans forward. This is it. The doors at the back open. Mayor Vincent Hartwell walks in. He doesn't walk like someone who's in trouble. He walks like he owns the place. Which in his mind he does. He's wearing a custom Tom Ford suit. Navy blue with thin gray pinstripes. It probably costs $7,000. His shoes are Italian leather. They click on the courtroom floor. Click, click, click. Each step sounds expensive. His tie is silk. Dark red. A power color. His cufflinks catch the light. Real gold. His hair is perfectly styled. Not a strand out of place. Even his skin looks expensive. Like he gets facials every week. But it's his face that tells you everything. He's smirking. Actually smirking. Like this is all a joke. Like he's about to walk out of here with a slap on the wrist and a funny story to tell at his next country club lunch. Behind him walks his lawyer. A man in his 60s wearing a gray suit. He's carrying a leather briefcase. His face looks worried. He's whispering something to the mayor. The mayor waves him off. Dismissive. Like swatting away a fly. Judge Caprio looks up from his papers. Mayor Hartwell. Good morning. The mayor doesn't respond right away. He's looking around the courtroom, studying the faces. Some people won't meet his eyes. They look down. They know he has power. Real power. The kind that can make phone calls. The kind that can make problems for people. But some people stare right back. Their jaws are set. Their eyes are hard. Your Honor, the lawyer says quickly. He's trying to smooth things over already. Thank you for seeing us this morning. We appreciate your time and... I can speak for myself, Gerald, the mayor interrupts. His voice is smooth, confident. The voice of someone who's used to being listened to. Good morning, Judge Caprio. There's something in how he says it. Like he's doing the judge a favor. Like this is his courtroom, and the judge just works here. Judge Caprio's expression doesn't change. Please approach the bench. The mayor walks forward. His lawyer follows. They stand at the defendant's table. The mayor doesn't sit down. He just stands there, hands in his pockets. Casual, like he's waiting for a bus. Mr. Hartwell, Judge Caprio begins. He's using the formal name. Not mayor. Just Mr., that's the first sign. In this courtroom, titles don't matter. You're here today for several violations. Before we begin, I want to introduce you to someone. The mayor's smirk fades slightly. This isn't how these things usually go. Judge Caprio gestures to the side. This is Mrs. Elena Rodriguez. She's also here today. Her case is connected to yours. From the front row, a woman stands up. Elena Rodriguez is 53 years old. She's wearing a simple blue dress. Nothing fancy. It looks clean but old. Probably her church dress. The kind you only wear on special occasions because you can't afford to replace it. Her hands shake slightly as she stands. She's nervous. Really nervous. Her face tells a story. Tired eyes. Lines around her mouth from stress. Her hair is pulled back in a tight bun. A few gray strands show. She's wearing small silver earrings. Probably a gift from years ago. They might be the only jewelry she owns. She works 3 jobs. That's not an exaggeration. 3 actual jobs. She cleans offices downtown from 5 in the morning until 9. Then she works at a school cafeteria from 10 until 2. Then she cleans houses in the evening until 7 or 8. Sometimes later. Why? Because her husband died 4 years ago. Heart attack. No warning. Left her with 2 kids still in school and a mortgage. No life insurance. He'd let it lapse 6 months before. Said they couldn't afford the payments. Thought he'd be fine. He was only 49. Now Elena works 90 hours a week just to keep a roof over her family's heads. Just to keep food on the table. Just to keep the lights on. She's here today because of parking tickets. 5 of them. She parks her old Honda Civic on the street near the school where she works. The meter takes quarters. She never has enough quarters. She's always running from one job to another. Sometimes she forgets. Sometimes she doesn't have the money. Each ticket is $50. 5 tickets. $250. That's 2 weeks of groceries. That's half the electric bill. That's money she doesn't have. She was going to plead her case. Ask for a payment plan. Maybe get the fines reduced. Hope the judge would understand. But then something happened. Something that changed everything. Mrs. Rodriguez, Judge Caprio says gently, "Can you tell us what happened on the morning of March 15th? Elena's voice is quiet. She's not used to speaking in front of crowds. I was parked on Broad Street, near the school. I know I should have fed the meter. I was running late. My other job had gone long and—" "It's okay," the judge says. "Take your time. Tell us what happened with the mayor." The courtroom leans in closer. This is new information. Elena takes a breath. "I came out of the school. It was around 2:15. I saw a parking officer writing me a ticket. I wasn't going to argue. I knew I deserved it. But then I saw Mayor Hartwell's car." She points at the mayor. Her hand shakes. His car was parked in a handicapped spot, right in front of the school. The big blue spot with the wheelchair sign. His driver was sitting in it. Just sitting there. On his phone. The mayor's face changes. The smirk disappears. His jaw tightens. Elena continues. "I asked the parking officer why he wasn't ticketing that car too. The mayor's car. It was clearly in a handicapped spot. No handicap tag. No permit. Nothing. Just parked there because it was convenient." "And what did the parking officer say?" Judge Caprio asks. "He looked uncomfortable. He said he couldn't ticket that car. I asked why. He said it was the mayor's official vehicle. Said he'd get in trouble if he did. I said that wasn't fair. That wasn't right. If I get a ticket for an expired meter, the mayor should get a ticket for parking in a handicapped spot." "Then what happened?" Elena's voice gets even quieter. "Mayor Hartwell came out of the building. He'd been inside doing some event. He heard me talking. He walked over. His driver got out and opened the door for him. And the mayor looked at me and said—" She pauses. Her eyes fill with tears. "He said, 'Lady, I don't answer to parking meters. I don't answer to you. I run this city. If you have a problem with where I park, take it up with someone who cares.' Then he got in his car. They drove away. Left me standing there." The courtroom erupts. People are talking. Voices rise. Someone in the back yells, "That's not right." The bailiff steps forward. "Order. Order in the court." Everyone quiets down. But the energy has changed. The air feels electric. Charged. Judge Caprio looks at the mayor. "Is this true?" The mayor shifts his weight. His lawyer puts a hand on his arm. "Your Honor, my client doesn't recall the specific." "I asked him," Judge Caprio says firmly. "Not you. Mr. Hartwell, did this conversation happen?" The mayor looks at Elena, then back at the judge. You can see him calculating, deciding what to say, how to play this. "Listen," he says finally. "I'm a busy man. I'm the mayor of this city. I have meetings, events, responsibilities. Sometimes my driver needs to park quickly so I can get to where I need to be. I don't always have time to circle the block looking for legal parking. That's just reality." "That doesn't answer my question," the judge says. "Did you park in a handicapped spot?" "My driver parked the car." "Did your driver park in a handicapped spot?" The mayor sighs. Annoyed. Like this is all so beneath him. "Probably. Yes. If that's what she says happened, then fine. Yes. But it was for like 10 minutes. Nobody was hurt. No actual handicapped person needed that spot." A woman in the gallery stands up. She's using a cane. "I needed it," she shouts. Her voice shakes with anger. "I had to park 3 blocks away. I have MS. I can barely walk. But sure, you needed it for your photo op. The bailiff moves toward her. Ma'am, please. Let her speak, Judge Caprio says. The woman continues. I'm Sharon Mitchell. I'm a teacher at that school. I have a handicap permit. It's legitimate. I have multiple sclerosis. Walking is painful for me. Really painful. That day, I couldn't find any handicap parking because his car was taking up one of only 3 spots. I had to park far away. I had to walk. By the time I got inside, I was in so much pain, I could barely stand. I had to teach like that all day. But hey, at least the mayor didn't have to walk an extra minute. She sits back down. Her friend next to her puts an arm around her shoulders. The mayor's face is red now. He's not used to being called out like this. Not used to regular people talking to him this way. Your Honor, his lawyer tries again. Perhaps we could discuss this in chambers. No, Judge Caprio says. We'll discuss it right here. In open court, where justice belongs. He opens a file folder on his desk. Pulls out papers. Studies them. Mr. Hartwell, it says here that this isn't the first time. My clerk pulled records. In the past 2 years, your official vehicle has been photographed in handicapped spots 17 times. 17 times. Fire lanes 12 times. Loading zones 23 times. Double parked 31 times. Do you know how many tickets were issued? The mayor says nothing. 0, the judge says. Not one single ticket. Because parking enforcement officers were told not to ticket the mayor's car. Isn't that correct? Silence. I have a memo here, Judge Caprio continues. He holds up a paper. From the parking department supervisor. Dated 2 years ago. It says, and I quote, officers are instructed not to issue citations to the mayor's official vehicle regardless of violation. Direct order from City Hall. The courtroom explodes again. People are shouting. The bailiff is calling for order. It takes a full minute to calm everyone down. The mayor's lawyer is sweating now. He's whispering urgently to his client. The mayor pushes him away. So what? The mayor says. His voice is loud. Aggressive. So what if I park where I need to park? Do you know what I do for this city? Do you know how hard I work? I'm at events 14 hours a day. I'm meeting with business leaders, bringing jobs here, making this city better. I don't have time to worry about parking spots. That's why I have a driver. That's why I have an official vehicle. It comes with the job. The job doesn't come with immunity from the law, Judge Caprio says. Oh, please. The mayor waves his hand dismissively. This is a parking ticket, not a murder trial. Let's keep some perspective here. You're right, the judge says. It is about parking. But it's also about something bigger. It's about fairness. It's about equality. Mrs. Rodriguez here, she works 3 jobs. She's exhausted. She's trying to survive. She forgets to feed a parking meter and gets fined $50. That $50 means something to her. It means food. It means keeping her lights on. But you park illegally hundreds of times. On purpose. In handicapped spots. And nothing happens. You don't even get a warning. How is that fair? Life isn't fair, the mayor says. He shrugs. Like it's that simple. Like that explains everything. Some people have more responsibility than others. Some people have more demands on their time. That's just how it is. I'm sorry if that hurts people's feelings, but it's the truth. The gallery is rumbling again. Angry voices. Judge Caprio raises his hand. Everyone quiets. Mr. Hartwell, I want to show you something. He nods to the clerk. A screen on the wall lights up. It shows security camera footage. The date stamp says March 15th, 2:12 p.m. The video is clear. High quality. It shows the front of the school. Shows the mayor's black SUV pulling up. The driver parks directly in the handicapped spot. The mayor gets out. He's on his phone. Laughing. He walks into the school. The driver stays with the car. Playing on his phone. Waiting. Minutes pass on the timestamp. Then Elena appears. She's talking to a parking officer. Pointing at the SUV. The officer shakes his head. Looks uncomfortable. Then the mayor comes out. You can see him walking toward Elena. His body language is aggressive. Chest out. Pointing his finger. His mouth is moving. Elena steps back. She looks scared. The video has no sound. But you don't need sound. The story is clear. The mayor gets in his car. They drive away. Elena is left standing there. She puts her face in her hands. The video stops. The courtroom is dead silent. That's not even the worst part, Judge Caprio says. He pulls out another paper. After this incident, Mrs. Rodriguez filed a formal complaint with the city. She went through the proper channels, filled out the forms, submitted her statement. Do you know what happened to that complaint? He looks at the mayor. It was buried. Someone in your office marked it as resolved. No investigation. No follow-up. Just closed it out. And then, and this is the really interesting part, Mrs. Rodriguez started getting more tickets. A lot more tickets. In the 3 weeks after she filed her complaint, she got 12 parking tickets. 12. In 3 weeks. When she'd gotten 5 in the entire previous year. Elena is crying now. Quiet tears running down her face. Someone was targeting her, the judge says. Someone was punishing her for speaking up, for daring to question the mayor. And I have records here showing that all 12 of those tickets came from one specific parking officer. An officer who happens to be the nephew of your chief of staff, Mr. Hartwell. Isn't that a remarkable coincidence? The mayor's face has gone pale. His lawyer is frantically writing notes, probably already thinking about damage control, about how to spin this. Your Honor, the lawyer says, these are serious allegations. If you're suggesting that my client orchestrated some kind of retaliation. I'm not suggesting anything, Judge Caprio interrupts. I'm stating facts. I have the records. I have the timeline. I have the camera footage. I have witness statements. 17 people saw your client speak to Mrs. Rodriguez that day. 3 of them heard exactly what he said. It matches her account perfectly. He closes the file folder, puts his hands flat on the desk. Mr. Hartwell, you are not required to be here today. Your lawyer could have handled this, but I asked you to come personally. Do you know why? The mayor doesn't answer. He's staring at the floor now. Because I wanted to look you in the eye, the judge says. I wanted you to hear this directly from me. You are not above the law. Your position does not grant you special privileges. Your title does not exempt you from the rules that everyone else has to follow. And when you abuse your power to hurt ordinary people who dare to question you, there will be consequences. This is ridiculous, the mayor says. But his voice lacks conviction now. He sounds tired. Defensive. Is it? Judge Caprio leans forward. Let me tell you what's ridiculous. What's ridiculous is a man who makes $175,000 a year, paid for by taxpayers like Mrs. Rodriguez, parking in handicapped spots because he can't be bothered to walk an extra 30 feet. What's ridiculous is using your power to punish a woman who works 90 hours a week just to survive. What's ridiculous is standing in my courtroom and acting like you're the victim here. The mayor's jaw tightens. You can see him struggling. Part of him wants to argue, wants to fight back, but he knows he can't. Not here. Not now. The evidence is too clear. The facts are too damning. His lawyer is pulling on his sleeve, whispering, "Don't say anything. Just let me handle this." But the mayor isn't listening. He's looking around the courtroom, seeing the faces, the anger, the disgust. These are his constituents, his voters, people who trusted him, believed in him, elected him, and he can see that trust breaking. Right here, right now. Fine, he says suddenly. His voice is sharp, bitter. Fine. You want me to say I was wrong. I was wrong. You want me to apologize. I apologize. There. Happy? Can we move on now? I have actual important things to do today. The courtroom erupts in boos. Someone throws a wadded-up piece of paper. It bounces off the mayor's shoulder. The bailiff moves quickly. Do not throw things in this courtroom. Judge Caprio waits. Lets the noise die down naturally. He's not rushing this. This is important. This matters. Mr. Hartwell, he says finally, an apology isn't worth anything if it's forced. If it comes from anger instead of remorse. If you're only saying it because you got caught. Do you understand what you actually did wrong here? I parked illegally, the mayor says through gritted teeth. I get it. No, the judge says. I don't think you do get it. This isn't about parking. This is about power. About using your position to benefit yourself while everyone else follows the rules. It's about punishing people who dare to hold you accountable. It's about treating hardworking people like Mrs. Rodriguez as if they're beneath you. As if their struggles don't matter. As if their voices don't count. I work hard too, the mayor says. I'm not some villain here. I'm trying to run a city. Do you know how stressful that is? How many problems I deal with every single day? I'm sure it's very stressful, Judge Caprio says. But Mrs. Rodriguez works 3 jobs. She sleeps 4 hours a night. She's raising 2 children alone. She's one medical emergency away from losing her home. And when she dared to point out that you were breaking the law, you used your power to make her life even harder. So forgive me if I don't feel too much sympathy for your parking stress. The mayor's face is bright red now. His hands are clenched into fists at his sides. This is political, he says suddenly. That's what this is. You're trying to embarrass me. Make me look bad. Probably running for something yourself. Or supporting my opponent. This is a hit job. And there it is. The deflection. The conspiracy theory. The victim mentality. Judge Caprio's expression doesn't change. I'm 77 years old, Mr. Hartwell. I'm not running for anything. I've been on this bench for 39 years. I've seen thousands of cases. Rich people. Poor people. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian. Young and old. Famous and unknown. And I treat every single one of them the same way. Based on facts. Based on evidence. Based on the law. That's my job. That's what I do. He pauses. Lets that sink in. But if you want to see this as political, go ahead. If that makes you feel better, believe that. But it won't change what happens next. The mayor swallows hard. For the first time, he looks genuinely nervous. His lawyer senses it too. Your Honor, perhaps we could discuss a plea arrangement? My client is willing to pay all fines, make restitution to Mrs. Rodriguez, and... I'm not finished, Judge Caprio says. Let me tell you what else we found. He opens another file. This one is thicker. When Mrs. Rodriguez's complaint was filed, I asked my team to do some digging. Look into other complaints against the mayor's office. We found 47 complaints in the past 2 years. From citizens. About abuse of power. Misuse of city resources. Intimidation. Retaliation. Guess how many were properly investigated? Silence. 3, the judge says. 3 out of 47. The other 44 were dismissed. Buried. Ignored. People tried to speak up and were shut down. Do you understand what that means? It means there's a pattern. This isn't a one-time mistake. This is how you operate. The mayor's lawyer stands up. Your Honor, this is far beyond the scope of a traffic hearing. If you want to investigate my client for other matters, that's a separate issue. But right now, we're here about parking violations. Let's stick to that. You're absolutely right, Judge Caprio says. This is about parking. But it's also about contempt. Because your client didn't just park illegally. He used his position to avoid consequences. He retaliated against someone who called him out. And then, when ordered to appear in this court, the judge picks up another paper. Called my clerk and demanded that this hearing be postponed. Said he was too busy. Said traffic court was beneath him. Said, and I have this in writing from my clerk, tell the judge I'll get there when I get there. The gallery gasps. You don't talk to Judge Caprio like that. Everyone knows that. He's a beloved figure in this city. Respected. Admired. The way the mayor just described, that's not just disrespectful. It's stupid. Then, the judge continues, when my clerk explained that the hearing was mandatory, that failure to appear could result in a warrant, your client said. He looks directly at the mayor. Do you remember what you said? The mayor's eyes are wide now. He knows what's coming. According to my clerk's notes, you said, I own this city. Every brick. Every street. Everyone in that courthouse works for me. Including the judge. And there it is. The nuclear quote. The thing that will be clipped and shared and talked about for weeks. Months. Years. The courtroom explodes. People are on their feet. Shouting. Pointing. The bailiff and 2 other officers move in. They're trying to restore order. It takes 3 full minutes. Judge Caprio sits calmly. He's not yelling. Not pounding his gavel frantically. He just waits. Lets the people express their anger. Lets it build. Lets the mayor feel it. When it finally quiets down, the silence is heavy. Oppressive. The mayor is shaking. His face has gone from red to pale. His expensive suit suddenly looks wrong. Too fancy. Too much. His gold cufflinks catch the light, and it doesn't look powerful anymore. It looks gaudy. Excessive. Mr. Hartwell, Judge Caprio says. His voice is soft, but it cuts through the room like a knife. You don't own this city. The people do. They elected you to serve them. Not to rule them. Not to use them. To serve them. That's what public service means. Service. It's right there in the name. The mayor opens his mouth. Closes it. He looks at his lawyer. His lawyer looks at the floor. Let me tell you a story, the judge says. He settles back in his chair. I grew up in this city. Right here in Providence. My father was an Italian immigrant. Came here with nothing. Spoke no English. He worked in factories. Swept floors. Did whatever he could to feed his family. We lived in a tiny apartment. 6 of us in 3 rooms. Money was always tight. Sometimes there was no money at all. He pauses, remembering. One winter, we couldn't pay our heating bill. It was December. Snow outside. Our heat got shut off. My mother bundled us in every piece of clothing we had. We slept together for warmth. My father went to City Hall. Asked for help. Begged for an extension. Just a few weeks until he could get the money together. The courtroom is completely silent now. Everyone is listening. Do you know what happened? Judge Caprio asks. The city administrator at the time, he looked at my father like he was dirt. Like he was nothing. Told him that poor people should manage their money better. Told him that maybe if immigrants worked harder, they wouldn't have these problems. Sent him away. No help. No extension. Nothing. Just judgment and cruelty. The judge's eyes are wet, but his voice is steady. My father came home destroyed. I was 8 years old and I saw my father cry for the first time. He felt like he'd failed us. Like he wasn't good enough. Like he didn't matter. He looks directly at the mayor. That night, I decided something. I decided that if I ever had power, if I ever had a position of authority, I would never make anyone feel that way. I would never use my power to make people feel small. I would never forget where I came from. I would never forget that every person who comes before me is someone's father, someone's mother, someone's child. They all matter. Every single one. A woman in the gallery is crying. Then another. Then several people. Mrs. Rodriguez, Judge Caprio says, turning to her. You matter. Your struggle matters. Your voice matters. And I'm sorry that someone in power made you feel like it didn't. Elena is openly sobbing now. She nods. Can't speak. The judge turns back to the mayor. You, Mr. Hartwell, you forgot that. Or maybe you never learned it. You got elected, and you thought that made you special. Better than everyone else. Above the rules. And maybe for a while, people let you get away with it. Maybe they were afraid of you. Maybe they needed something from you. Maybe they just didn't want the hassle of challenging you. He leans forward. But not here. Not in my courtroom. Here, everyone is equal. Here, the law applies to everyone the same way. Here, I don't care if you're the mayor or a janitor. I don't care if you're rich or poor. I don't care who you know or how much power you have outside these walls. In here, you follow the rules. In here, you show respect. In here, you tell the truth. And in here, there are consequences when you don't. The mayor's hands are shaking now. Visible shaking. Your Honor, his lawyer tries one more time. Please, let's discuss this reasonably. We are discussing it reasonably, Judge Caprio says. Very reasonably. Because if I weren't being reasonable, I'd hold your client in contempt right now for what he said to my clerk. I'd have him taken into custody immediately. But I'm giving him a chance. A chance to hear why this matters. A chance to understand what he's done. A chance to feel the weight of his actions. He opens the final folder on his desk. Here's what's going to happen. First, the parking violations. You have accumulated, by my count, 83 violations over 2 years. The fine for each ranges from $50 to $200, depending on the violation. That comes to $8,400 in total fines. The mayor barely reacts. That's pocket change to him. Second, there's the matter of abuse of power. Using your position to avoid legal consequences is a serious offense. For that, I'm adding an additional fine of $25,000. That money will go directly to a fund for low-income residents facing parking violations they can't afford to pay. Now the mayor's eyes widen. Third, retaliation. You used your position to punish Mrs. Rodriguez for exercising her right to file a complaint. For that, you will pay her directly the sum of $15,000. That's compensation for the harassment, the additional tickets, the stress, and the fear you caused her. Elena gasps. She puts her hand over her mouth. Fourth, license suspension. Your driver's license is suspended for 6 months. During that time, you may not operate any vehicle. Your official city vehicle may still be used, but you must be in the back seat. Your driver must follow all traffic laws. And if there is a single parking violation during those 6 months, this suspension extends to 1 year. Am I clear? The mayor nods slowly. He looks sick. Fifth, and this is the important one. Judge Caprio's voice gets harder. Community service. 250 hours. That's not going to be served at some cushy nonprofit gala where you shake hands and take photos. That's not going to be some board meeting where you write a check and call it service. He pulls out a paper, reads from it. You will serve those hours as a parking enforcement officer. You heard me correctly. For the next 6 months, every Saturday and Sunday, from 6 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, you will put on a uniform. You will walk the streets of Providence. You will check meters. You will write tickets. You will deal with angry people who don't want to pay. You will feel the sun and the rain and the cold. You will do the job that you thought was beneath you. The courtroom erupts in applause. People are cheering, whistling. The bailiff doesn't even try to stop it. He's smirking. The mayor looks like he's been slapped. You can't be serious. I'm completely serious, the judge says. And here's the best part. You'll be supervised by someone who knows the job very well. Someone who understands what it means to work hard for every dollar. Someone you tried to hurt. He looks at Elena. Mrs. Rodriguez, you mentioned you know parking enforcement supervisor Carlos Martinez. You grew up with him. You're friends. Elena nods, confused. I spoke with him this morning. He's agreed to supervise Mayor Hartwell's community service. That means every weekend you'll report to Carlos. He'll assign your route. He'll check your work. He'll sign off on your hours. And if he's not satisfied with your performance, those hours don't count. You'll have to redo them. The mayor's lawyer is frantically shaking his head. Your Honor, this is humiliating. It's degrading. It's fair, Judge Caprio says. It's what any other person who committed these violations would face. Actually, it's less than what most people would face. Because most people can't afford your fancy lawyer. Most people can't pay these fines. Most people would lose their license and their job and their ability to support their families. Your client is getting off easy. This is political persecution, the mayor says. His voice is rising. Getting desperate. You're destroying my career. You're trying to ruin me. No, the judge says firmly. You ruined yourself. You did this. Every choice that led to this moment was yours. You chose to park illegally. You chose to abuse your power. You chose to retaliate against Mrs. Rodriguez. You chose to disrespect this court. Those were your choices. Now you're facing the consequences of those choices. That's not persecution. That's accountability. The mayor's face crumbles. You can see it happening in real time. The arrogance falling away. The smugness evaporating. What's left is just a man. A man who's scared. Who's realizing that he's not untouchable after all. There's more, the judge says. You will write a formal apology. Handwritten. Not typed. Not written by your staff. You. At least 2 pages. Explaining what you did wrong, why it was wrong, and what you learned. You'll submit it to this court in 30 days. He pauses. You'll also write a public letter. This one will be published in the Providence Journal. In it, you'll acknowledge your actions, apologize to Mrs. Rodriguez publicly, and commit to reforms in how City Hall handles complaints. That letter will be reviewed by me before publication. If it's not genuine, if it reads like your lawyer wrote it, I'll reject it, and you'll write another one. We'll keep doing that until you get it right. The mayor's shoulders slump. He looks defeated. And finally, Judge Caprio says, you're going to meet with all 47 people who filed complaints that were ignored. You'll sit down with each one. No staff. No lawyers. Just you. You'll listen to what they have to say. You'll hear their stories. You'll look them in the eye. And you'll apologize. In person. Face to face. And you'll make things right. Whatever that takes. Whatever they need. Within legal and reasonable bounds, you'll make amends. He closes all the folders on his desk. Stacks them neatly. Mr. Hartwell, power is not a toy. It's not a weapon. It's a responsibility. A sacred trust. The people of Providence gave you power to help them. To serve them. To make their lives better. Instead, you used it to benefit yourself. To avoid consequences. To hurt people who challenged you. That's not leadership. That's tyranny. Small tyranny, everyday tyranny, but tyranny nonetheless. The judge's voice softens slightly. I'm told you have 2 children, a son and a daughter. Teenagers. They're probably watching this on the news right now. Will you want them to learn from this? That power means you don't have to follow rules? That being important means you can hurt regular people? That consequences are for other people. The mayor's eyes are red. He's blinking rapidly, fighting tears. Or do you want them to learn that everyone makes mistakes? That even powerful people can be wrong? That real strength comes from admitting your errors and making things right? That character is defined by how you respond when you're caught, not by whether you get caught at all. A tear runs down the mayor's face. He wipes it away quickly. But another follows. You have a choice to make, Judge Caprio says. You can fight this. Appeal. Drag it out. Use your resources to battle this ruling. Maybe you'll win. Maybe you'll find a technicality. Maybe you'll get the sentence reduced or overturned. And in the process, you'll confirm everything people suspect about you. That you haven't learned anything. That you still think you're above the law. That power is more important to you than principle. He pauses. Or you can accept this. Take your punishment. Serve your community service. Write your apologies. Meet with those people you ignored. Really listen. Really change. Show your children. Show this city. Show yourself that you're better than your worst actions. That you can grow. That you can learn. That you can be the person you should have been all along. The courtroom is silent. Absolutely silent. You could hear hearts beating. What's it going to be, Mr. Hartwell? The mayor stands there. His expensive suit. His perfect hair. His gold cufflinks. All of it feels like a costume now. Like something he's wearing to hide who he really is. His lawyer is tugging on his sleeve. Whispering urgently. Probably telling him to fight. To appeal. To use every resource available. But the mayor isn't listening. He's looking at Elena Rodriguez. This woman who works 90 hours a week. Who's exhausted. Who's struggling. Who dared to stand up to him and paid for it. She's looking back at him. Her eyes are wet but hard. Sad but strong. I'm sorry, the mayor says. His voice cracks. Mrs. Rodriguez, I'm so sorry. You were right. You were absolutely right. I should have gotten a ticket that day. I should have been parked legally. And I should never, ever have used my position against you. That was wrong. So wrong. I'm sorry. It's not eloquent. It's not polished. But it's real. For the first time today, maybe for the first time in years, he sounds like a real person. Not a politician. Not a powerful mayor. Just a man who did something terrible and knows it. Elena nods slowly. She doesn't say, I forgive you. She doesn't say it's okay. Because it's not okay. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But she acknowledges the apology. That's something. Your Honor, the mayor says, turning back to the judge. I'll accept the sentence. All of it. I'll do the community service. I'll write the letters. I'll meet with everyone. I'll do whatever it takes. You're right. My kids are probably watching. And I want them to see me take responsibility. I want them to see me try to be better. Judge Caprio nods. Then we're done here. You'll report to the clerk's office after this hearing to get your community service assignment. Your first shift is this Saturday. 6 a.m. Don't be late. And Mr. Hartwell. Yes, sir. If you do this right, if you really commit to this, you might be surprised. You might learn something. You might become the mayor this city deserves. But that's up to you. It's always been up to you. The gavel comes down. One solid knock. This court is adjourned. The bailiff calls out, all rise. Everyone stands. Judge Caprio steps down from the bench. He walks past the mayor. For just a moment he pauses. Puts a hand on the mayor's shoulder. Says something too quiet for anyone else to hear. Then he's gone. Back to his chambers. The courtroom empties slowly. People are talking. Excited. Animated. They've just witnessed something rare. Real justice. Not justice for the rich or the poor. Not justice for the connected or the powerless. Just justice. Plain and simple. The kind that's supposed to happen, but often doesn't. Elena Rodriguez is surrounded by supporters. People are hugging her. Congratulating her. Someone hands her a tissue. She's crying and laughing at the same time. Relief flooding through her. After all this time, someone listened. Someone cared. Someone made it right. The mayor stands at the defendant's table. His lawyer is packing up papers. Talking about next steps. Strategy. The mayor isn't listening. He's watching Elena. Watching her celebrate. Seeing what his apology meant to her. A reporter approaches. Shoves a microphone in the mayor's face. Mr. Mayor, how do you feel about the sentence? Will you appeal? The mayor looks at the camera. His eyes are still red. His face is blotchy from crying. He looks nothing like the smooth politician who walked in 2 hours ago. No appeal, he says. The judge was right. I was wrong. I'm going to serve my sentence. I'm going to try to be better. That's all I can say right now. He walks out. His lawyer follows. Briefcase in hand. Looking worried about polls and elections and political futures. Outside the courthouse, a crowd has gathered. Word spread fast. People line the sidewalk. Some are holding signs. Equal justice, one says. Nobody is above the law, says another. When the mayor emerges, the crowd erupts. Some people boo. Some people cheer. Some just stare. Judging. Evaluating. Deciding if this is real or just another politician's performance. The mayor doesn't rush to his car. Doesn't hide. He stops. Stands there. Lets them see him. All of him. The arrogance stripped away. The power diminished. Just a man who made serious mistakes and has to answer for them. A young boy, maybe 10 years old, calls out, "My mom says you're a bad mayor." The mayor looks at the boy. Swallows hard. "Your mom might be right, but I'm going to try to be better. I promise." The boy looks skeptical. He should be. Promises are cheap. Actions matter. The mayor gets in his car. Not the front seat. The back. His driver pulls away slowly. The crowd watches until the car disappears around the corner. Back in the courthouse, Judge Caprio sits in his chambers. He's looking at the files on his desk, thinking about the case, about power and responsibility, about justice and mercy, about whether people can really change. His clerk knocks on the door. "Judge, there's already a petition online. 20,000 signatures in the past hour. People thanking you, saying you restored their faith in the system." Judge Caprio nods, but he doesn't smile. "It's not about me. It was never about me. It's about the law, about fairness, about treating people with dignity." Still, the clerk says, "You made a difference today. A real one." Maybe. Time will tell. 3 months later. It's a Saturday morning, 6:15 a.m. The sun is just coming up. The air is cold. Fall turning to winter. A man walks down Westminster Street. He's wearing a blue vest with "Parking Enforcement" written on the back. He's carrying a handheld meter reader. His breath makes clouds in the cold air. He stops at a car. Checks the meter. Expired. He sighs. Pulls out his ticket book. Writes carefully. Make, model, license plate, violation, time. He places the ticket under the windshield wiper. The man is Vincent Hartwell, former mayor of Providence. He resigned 6 weeks ago. Said in his resignation speech that he needed to focus on becoming a better person before he could be an effective leader. The special election is next month. He's thinner now. His face has lines it didn't have before. His hands are rough from work. His expensive suits are in storage. He wears jeans and work boots these days. He's on his 17th weekend of community service. He's written 437 parking tickets. He's walked probably 200 miles. His feet hurt. His back aches. He's been yelled at 63 times. Someone threw coffee at him once. He kept working. A car pulls up. A woman gets out. It's Elena Rodriguez. She's on her way to her morning cleaning job. "Mr. Hartwell," she says. "Mrs. Rodriguez," he replies. "Just Elena now. Please." They stand there for a moment, the former mayor and the woman who brought him down. There's history between them. Pain and anger and consequences. "How are you doing?" she asks. "Tired," he admits. "This job is harder than I thought. I mean, I knew it was hard. Intellectually, I knew. But knowing and feeling are different things." She nods. "That's true." "I wrote you a letter," he says. "Personal one. Not the public apology. Just thoughts. Things I wanted to say. My lawyer said I shouldn't send it. Said it could be used against me in civil court or something. But I don't care. I need you to know that I understand what I did. Really understand." He pulls an envelope from his pocket. Hands it to her. Elena takes it. Doesn't open it. "I'll read it." "I met with all 47 people," he says. "Like the judge ordered. Every single one had a story. Real struggles. Real pain. And I ignored them. Or worse. I want you to know I heard them this time. Really heard them." "That's good," Elena says. She means it. "I'm going back to school," Vincent continues. "Getting a degree in social work. Going to work with nonprofits after this is done. Use whatever skills I have to actually help people. No more power. No more politics. Just service. Real service." Elena smiles slightly. "Good. The city needs that more than it needs another politician." A parking meter beeps. Time expired on another car. Vincent looks at it. Sighs. "That's your job calling," Elena says. "Yeah." He adjusts his vest. Picks up his ticket book. "Elena, thank you. For speaking up. For not backing down. For making me face what I'd become. I hate that you had to go through all that. But thank you." She studies his face. looking for signs of performance, of manipulation. She doesn't find any. Just exhaustion and genuine remorse. "You're welcome," she says finally. "Now go do your job. And do it right." "Yes, ma'am." He walks away to issue another ticket. She watches him go, then gets in her car and drives to work. 6 months after that, the Providence Journal runs a feature story. The headline reads, "From City Hall to Street Corners, the redemption of Vincent Hartwell." The article includes photos. Vincent in his parking enforcement uniform. Vincent serving meals at a homeless shelter. Vincent sitting in a community college classroom, taking notes. Vincent speaking to a high school class about accountability and consequences. The article is honest. It doesn't paint him as a hero. It doesn't excuse what he did, but it documents his efforts. His 250 hours of community service, all completed. His meetings with every person he'd wronged. His written apologies, which were published in full. His resignation from office. His commitment to education and service work. The article includes quotes from people. Some forgave him. Some didn't. Some said it was all performance. Some said they saw real change. Elena Rodriguez is quoted. "I don't know if he's truly changed inside. Only he knows that. But I know his actions hurt real people. And I know he's trying to make amends. That's more than most powerful people do. So I hope it's real. I hope he means it. Because if he does, he could do a lot of good." Carlos Martinez, the parking enforcement supervisor, is quoted. "He showed up every weekend. 6 a.m. Never late. Never complained. Did the work. Was respectful to everyone. Could have been an act, but if it was, he's a damn good actor. 250 hours. He was professional. That counts for something." Judge Frank Caprio declined to be interviewed for the article. But a statement from the court said, Mr. Hartwell completed all requirements of his sentence. He showed up. He did the work. He fulfilled his obligations. Whether he learned anything is between him and his conscience. The court's role was to ensure accountability. That was achieved. At the end of the article, there's a note. Vincent Hartwell has been hired by the Rhode Island Coalition for the Homeless. Starting salary, $38,000 a year. He'll be working on street outreach, connecting unhoused people with services, helping them navigate the bureaucracy he once controlled. The story goes viral. Not as viral as the Courtroom video. That video has 42 million views now. It's been discussed on news programs, in law school classes, in ethics courses. It's been praised and criticized and analyzed endlessly. But this follow-up story matters too, because it shows what happened next. It shows that consequences can lead to change. That accountability can lead to growth. That even someone who abused power can learn to use their privilege for good. Or at least try. 1 year later, Judge Frank Caprio sits in his courtroom. Another day. Another case. A young woman stands before him. She's been caught driving on a suspended license. She's a single mom. Works as a waitress. Car is her lifeline. Without it, she can't get to work. Can't take her kid to school. Can't survive. The judge listens to her story. Asks questions. Looks at the evidence. Makes a decision. He reduces the fine. Sets up a payment plan. Explains how she can get her license reinstated. Treats her with dignity and respect. Just like he does with everyone. In the back of a courtroom, a man sits quietly. He's wearing jeans and a simple sweater. He's got a notebook. He's taking notes. Studying. Learning. It's Vincent Hartwell. He comes to court once a month now. Not as a defendant. As a student. He's writing a thesis on restorative justice. On how the legal system can hold people accountable while also helping them grow. On the balance between punishment and redemption. When the hearing ends, Vincent approaches the bench. Judge Caprio sees him. Nods. "Mr. Hartwell," he says. "Judge," Vincent replies. "Thank you for letting me observe." "Learning anything?" "Every time," Vincent says. "The way you see people. Really see them. Not just their mistakes. That's what I missed when I was mayor. I saw problems and obstacles. Not people." Judge Caprio studies him. This man who once said he owned the city. Who stood in this very room radiating arrogance and entitlement. Who broke down when confronted with his own actions. Who spent 6 months walking the streets writing parking tickets. Who gave up power to find purpose. "Are you better now?" the judge asks. Not rhetorically. Genuinely curious. Vincent considers the question. "I'm different. Better? I hope so. I'm trying to be. That's all I can do. Try every day to be a little better than I was yesterday. To serve instead of rule. To listen instead of demand. to help instead of hurt. Judge Caprio nods slowly. That's all any of us can do. Keep trying. Keep growing. Keep remembering that we're not special. We're just people. Some of us got lucky. Born into the right family. Right color. Right opportunities. That luck is not a merit badge. It's a responsibility. I understand that now, Vincent says. I wish I'd understood it sooner. I wish I hadn't needed to be humbled so publicly. But I did. I needed exactly what you gave me. Accountability, consequences, and a path forward. The path forward was always there, the judge says. You just had to choose to walk it. They shake hands. Then Vincent leaves. Back to his small apartment. Back to his studies. Back to his work helping people who society usually ignores. And Judge Caprio goes back to his chambers. Prepares for the next case. The next person who needs justice. The next opportunity to remind everyone that the law is not a weapon. It's a shield. Protection for the vulnerable. Accountability for the powerful. A promise that we are all equal under its protection. That night, Elena Rodriguez comes home from her jobs. She's tired. Always tired. But it's a different tired now. Because she only works 2 jobs now. Not 3. The $15,000 from a settlement changed things. She paid off debts. Fixed her car. Built up a small emergency fund. It didn't solve everything. She's still struggling. Still working hard. Still worried about money. But she has breathing room now. A little bit of space to rest. To breathe. To live. Her daughter is at the kitchen table doing homework. Mom, we learned about your case in civics class today. Ms. Patterson showed us the video. Everyone thinks you're really brave. Elena smiles. Sets down her purse. Hugs her daughter. I wasn't brave, honey. I was just tired of being treated unfairly. Sometimes standing up for yourself is the only choice left. Did it feel good when the judge punished the mayor? Elena thinks about this. At first, yes. It felt like justice. Like finally someone was listening. But later, it felt sad. Because it shouldn't have taken all that. He should have just done the right thing from the start. He should have gotten a ticket. Apologized. Learned. But he didn't. So consequences had to teach him what decency should have. Do you think he really changed? I don't know, Elena says honestly. I hope so. For his sake and everyone else's. But whether he changed or not, it doesn't really matter to me anymore. What matters is that someone heard me. Someone believed me. Someone said that what happened to me was wrong, and made it right. That's what I'll remember. Not his redemption story. My justice story. Her daughter nods. Goes back to homework. Elena starts making dinner. Rice and beans. Simple food. Good food. The food of people who know how to make a little stretch a long way. She's at peace. Not because her life is easy. It's not. Not because everything worked out perfectly. It didn't. But because she stood up. She spoke up. She refused to be invisible. And she won. Not completely. Not forever. But in that moment, in that courtroom, she mattered. Her voice mattered. Her struggle mattered. And sometimes that's enough. In his chambers, Judge Caprio sits alone. The courthouse is quiet now. Everyone has gone home. He's looking at photos on his wall. Pictures of his family. His children. His grandchildren. Pictures from his years on the bench. Thousands of cases. Thousands of people. Thousands of moments where justice either prevailed or failed. He thinks about Vincent Hartwell. About whether the sentence was too harsh or too lenient. About whether redemption is real or just performance. About whether powerful people can ever truly understand what it means to be powerless. He doesn't know. He'll never know. That's not his job. His job is to enforce the law fairly. To treat everyone with dignity. To give people a chance to explain themselves and then hold them accountable for their choices. To balance mercy with justice, compassion with consequences. Some days he succeeds. Some days he fails. But every day he tries. That's the only promise he can make. The only promise any of us can make. To try. To listen. To care. To remember that every person in front of us is exactly that. A person. With struggles and dreams and fears and hopes. A person who deserves to be seen. To be heard. To be treated fairly. Judge Caprio turns off the lights in his chambers. Walks out to his car. Drives home to his family. Tomorrow there will be more cases. More people. More opportunities to do justice or fail at it. But tonight he can rest. Knowing that today in that courtroom, with that arrogant mayor and that exhausted worker, justice was done. Not perfectly, not completely, but enough. And sometimes enough is everything. This is a story about power, about arrogance, about accountability, about what happens when someone who thinks they're above the law finally faces consequences, about a judge who treats everyone the same, about a woman who refused to be silenced, about a man who learned painfully that position is not permission, that authority is not armor, that justice, real justice, applies to everyone. Money can buy many things: nice cars, expensive clothes, gold cufflinks and Italian shoes. It can buy lawyers and influence and fancy dinners at exclusive clubs. But it cannot buy respect. That must be earned. It cannot buy redemption. That must be worked for. It cannot buy character. That must be built day by day, choice by choice, action by action. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it definitely cannot buy justice. Because justice isn't for sale. It's not a commodity. It's not a service available only to those who can afford it. Justice is a right, a promise, a foundation, the thing that holds society together. The agreement that we are all equal under the law, that we all follow the same rules, that we all face the same consequences. When that promise is broken, when some people get away with things while others are punished harshly, the whole system crumbles. Trust disappears. Faith erodes. People stop believing. They stop participating. They stop caring. But when that promise is kept, when someone powerful faces real consequences, when justice is actually done, something magic happens. People believe again. They trust again. They think maybe, just maybe, the system can work. That their voice matters. That their struggles count. That they are seen. That's what happened in that courtroom. That's what Judge Caprio gave to Elena Rodriguez and to everyone watching. Hope. The hope that justice is real. That accountability exists. That power has limits. And for Vincent Hartwell, he got something too. Something he didn't know he needed. A mirror. A chance to see himself clearly. To understand what he'd become. To choose who he wanted to be. Whether he makes that choice every day for the rest of his life, we'll never know for sure. But he has the chance. The opportunity. The path forward. The rest is up to him. Just like it's up to all of us. Every day. To choose justice over convenience. Fairness over privilege. Service over power. Compassion over cruelty. To remember that we're all just people. Some luckier than others. And that luck is not a trophy. It's a responsibility. A chance to make things better. To lift others up. To use whatever we have, money, power, influence, voice, to serve, not to rule. That's the lesson of this story. That's what Judge Frank Caprio teaches in his courtroom every single day. That's what Elena Rodriguez showed us when she refused to back down. That's what Vincent Hartwell learned, painfully, humiliatingly, but hopefully permanently. Justice is for everyone. Or it's for no one. There is no in between.